So here we have a cube. Please draw a cube. Work on your spatial reasoning. Start with the front square and then work backwards. Art by Barker. Always good to draw a diagram to help you solve word problems. Okay, so if you're stuck, draw a picture. Let Dad help you. See, get it? Dad, draw a picture, diagram. Okay. What we're going to do today for a lot of your work, we're going to use the acronym or saying FSS. This is almost how you're going to do 90% higher level math. You're going to start by writing down the formula. That means writing down the formula, which is where you start, by writing down the formula. I just want to say it twice because some people just don't listen. You have to write down the formula. Good. Then you want to substitute in. So you're going to have letters, and then you're going to be given values for the letters in the question. Put those values inside. And the last thing you're going to do is there's going to be one letter that you don't know. And you're going to have to do your math to solve for that unknown letter. For us, it's easy because most of our stuff is going to be D equals, and then we solve for D or some letter. Harder level math, you're going to get like 3 equals 4D plus 2. And then you got to solve for D. We're going to do that later. It's actually pretty easy. Okay, you'll do that later this year. And then you'll be like, oh, that's a piece of cake, Mr. Barker. I'll walk in the park. And I'll say, yeah, I know it's because I'm such a great teacher. Okay, let's continue on then. Okay, so we have the surface area, cube, edge length of 5. Let's write that edge length on our diagram. 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters. And we're trying to find the surface area. So what's a formula for the surface area of a cube? Let's just kind of come up with that. Any ideas? What do we know about a cube? 6 sides? Right. So whatever we figure out, we're going to have to multiply it by 6. But what's one side? Side squared? Well, how do you get that?
It's length times width.
Length times width, side times side. So what kind of shape do we have? Exactly, right? Those are things to think about, and you're probably thinking about it without thinking about it. So what it is, it's side squared. And I like to write the word only because it doesn't look like a 5 then. Okay, the letter S. You don't have to, you can write S if you want. So now we did the first part. We're done the F, now we have to substitute. So we don't know the surface area, we're trying to find it. That stays there. 6 times 5, because that's the side length. Bingo, in this side squared. So now we did the substitute part. Pretty easy, isn't it? So now we're going to have to solve. So to solve, you're going to do a little bit of bed mass. SA equals 6 times what? 25. Notice how you can do that without your calculator? I don't like you guys entering this whole thing on your calculator. It's bad practice when you get to higher level math with those harder questions. You're going to be done. Okay? So now, this is a calculator question. One simple piece of math. Type it in, tell me what you get. Or if you think about it, you got 6 quarters. I don't know how much 4 quarters is. So 4 quarters is $1, 100. What about 2 more? $1.50 or 150 centimeters squared. Okay. We should do a short little sentence as it's a word problem. So we should just say the surface area is 150 centimeters squared. And then we can put a box around that. Nice and easy. Why would we do a sentence? You guys know? Like, what's the logic behind it? Why? Just because your math teachers want to be mean and make you do it? What's my reason? Exactly. Sarah? Bella? Exactly. Clear what your answer is and you think about it. In order to come up with a sentence, what did you probably have to do? You probably have to just do a quick little read right here so you can make the sentence. That tells you, it does 2 things. It lets you look at your answer and see if it makes sense with what the question is. Okay, it's like your check. Right? You're checking to check that you did it right, that you answered it, and that you're doing the right work. Okay, that's why we do a sentence. It's not just to make you guys cry. It's just to have you double check. Okay. Any questions with that? Okay, bacteria questions. I'm going to give you a little formula with the bacteria questions. What we'd like to do is we have our starting population, and that's going to be a number, like 2, 10. We're going to start with some number. And we're going to multiply that by a base. The base is going to be our action. And here is going to be time, or technically it's actually the number of actions. And often for bacteria it's time. So what do I mean by actions? Well, I'm going to say the bacteria doubles. If I say doubles, or double, what number do you think would reflect that? 2. If I say triple, what number do you think would reflect that? Good. If I say half, what number do you think would half it? Half. Exactly, 1 over 2. Don't give me the decimal there. Give me the fraction. Okay? Now, the number of actions is how many times is it half? How many times is it double? Often that'll be our time, but in grade 10 we look at fractions. Okay, because I might say it doubles every 3 months, and 9 months occurred. Oh, 9, 3, that means 3, 3, 3. It would have happened 3 times, okay? Not 9 times. So you gotta be careful with that. Okay, most of you guys, we're not gonna look at half, it'll be triple and double. So underline the important stuff, that's a good problem solving skill. Population 200, that's good. Triples, very important. Every hour, yes. And so for question A, how much after 2 hours? So the population equals, what's our starting population? And we have our brackets. You can put a multiplication sign if you want, but you don't need to. Okay. And what's our action? 3, because we're tripling. Good. And every hour, and how many times is that going to occur for 2 hours? Twice. Okay. Who said 6? Yeah, it's not 6. It's 3 squared. Yeah. Don't worry, I see that a lot, Jason. Be careful, please. So 200 times what, Jason?
3 squared.
Which is? Yeah, 9. Thank you. Okay, so now after this is the formula, then we substitute, and then we solve. Final answer is 9,000. No, what? 1,800. Sorry, I didn't hear you, Archon. Quick little sentence. There's going to be 1,800 what? Dogs? Algae. Okay. Talk like it's a person. After 200 hours. Oh, that's pretty exciting stuff.
2 hours.
There you go.
I thought we just write a sentence at the end.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but you're like writing one sentence.
Because they're all different questions.
Well, you can just
Which means it's like I'm writing it at the end. No. Each question is each sentence, okay? Otherwise, it'd be a really, 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 really long sentence with 3 separate answers. Okay? Next one. Start. P equals. Go ahead. So go to your calculator, figure out the value for the power. I think that's a big number, so that is calculator, okay? If it's a small number, it's not a calculator, okay? and then a short, sweet sentence. Oh, did I screw that up? Yeah, thank you so much. 2 zeros. Good. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to come up with our formula. We're going to use n hours. So we're going to take the exponent and replace it with a letter. That way we can use this as our generic formula for every single question. N changes, then we just substitute it in. So we would have to be told what n equals, and then you just put that into your formula. The textbook usually starts with this. Okay, usually starts with this and then goes backwards with the other times. Make sense? Good. We have to tell you what all the letters equal. You just have to use the formula. So let's go to the next example. Okay. Please read it. Underline the important information. Okay, so what we have is we have a formula to measure the distance a rock falls when you throw it off a cliff, based on time. So the formula is d equals 4.9 times t squared. Let's start by writing down that formula. It doesn't mean write something different than I did. It means write exactly what I wrote, exactly how I wrote it. So now we're given 4 seconds. That's what t equals. T equals 4. So we're going to substitute that in. D equals 4.9 times 4 squared. Evaluate your, right? Now we're going to do BEDMAS. So 4.9 times what? 16. Now you should go to your calculator, figure out your answer. 78.4. Quick little sentence then. Go ahead, make your quick little sentence. There we go. Rock fell 78.4 meters. Like super simple, right? That's what the equation is describing. Okay, go ahead and do the next one by yourself. The rock fell 396.9 meters. Any questions? Yep.
Would you round it up, or would that mess up the answer?
No, you try and look in the question to see where it asks you to round to. Some of these are going to be cooked up enough that, I mean, if the decimal stops, then leave it as that, right? If there was a whole bunch of decimals, usually I would say round it to nearest tenth,
Okay.
hundredth, or whole number.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So we're going to go to do a little more exponent work here. Here's some tougher ones. So we're going to try and change them so they're easy. First thing I want you to do is fix your naive exponents. So you're still going to have the plus sign, but you're not going to do the addition. Fix your naive exponents, please. Make your exponents positive. So you should have 5 squared plus 3 cubed. You do not need the over 1 part, so I wouldn't write it, because that might confuse you. Now we can't do an exponent rule because we have different bases and addition. So there's 2 things stopping us. So what should we do now? Yep, sir? Solve it. Yeah, exactly. What's the value of 5 squared?
25.
Good, write it down. And then add them together, please. Yep.
3 cubed is not 9.
Thank you. Good job.
I did that too.
Thanks, Nelson. 52. Awesome. We got it right last class, honestly. Okay. So now we're going to do the exact same idea for this next one. First thing you want to do is not subtract, it's fix your negative exponents. Go. Make your exponents positive. Okay. Now what you want to do is evaluate your exponents. So find the value of the powers. Who can do this one in their head? If you have 9 and you take away a little bit, that means you're going to have 8 left over. But how many sixteenths would be left if you took away 1? It'd be 15. Okay. So if you want to do that the long way, you'd have 9 over what as a fraction? Well, first of all, it's 9 over 1. And then you'd have to have a huge giant number over 16 minus 1 over 16. What's 9 times 16? 144. Okay. So a lot harder, but still solvable. Probably not with a calculator, though. Okay. And then you're going to have to reduce a lot as well. So knowing this is pretty powerful stuff. Okay, number 3. Please solve number 3 and number 4 right now. Go and compare your answers. Kitchen, number 3, what'd you get? 2. For this one? The question's -7 to exponent 0. Oh, 3 minus? No, okay, I'm sorry. That's example 3. Here, this is just example 8 right there by itself. Okay, do the questions again. Go, just in case.
Oh, I did that one like that too. Wow.
I'll change those to letters. Tristan, what'd you get for number 3?
3 -1.
Why not positive 1?
Because
The negative sign has nothing to do with the base. Good answer. Example number 4. Neha, what'd you get? Why? Good. The base is -8, and it includes a negative sign. And so everything must be 1. Okay? So another good comparing your negative signs there. You got to be careful with them. Let me just pause this before I say what I'm about to say.